sewing machine. I started sewing the other day. I have to adjust my daughter's pants, and I make sure that doesn't fall. Is it balanced? Yeah, it's balanced. And so I figured I would go live while I was sewing. I got about 10 pair of pants to do. Oh, it's making me shake. It's making me shake. That's all right. I wasn't anticipating that. But anyway, okay, done. But anyway, so I was looking at a couple of things online. I was looking at a couple of things online, and I was thinking about this idea of self discipline. Um, so my first one for this will be my first one for the series. 'Cause I'm not gonna probably ever do any like edited and all that type of shit content. That's not my style. But I was thinking about it, and so the first one I want to do, this one might be short, is self discipline. That'll be the title of it when I finish. But self discipline. I was talking about late bloomers, so this is going to go along with this series of late bloomers. Self discipline. So I finished the pants. Y'all can see I did the sewing and I cut them, adjusted them. Okay, so I've lessened the waist. I cut them. I sew it at an angle. So I got 3 pair done and 10 to go. But anyway, self discipline is very important. I was talking about late bloomers, and I think it's some good content to do for anybody. And I'm gonna have different topics, and so this will be the topic. This will be the first one. I'm doing pink pants now. This will be the first one here. Forgive my jerk of the jerking of the screen. I got to take about an inch off here. But self discipline. Oh shit! Gotta put that down, girl. What you doing? Got to reset this angles. But self discipline is very important. So late bloomers. This topic came to me because you see a lot of people, and especially with this new generation, Gen Z, they're not quite arriving at adulthood on time. You know, they're not quite getting there. They're not getting grown. That's what I'm saying. They're not quite getting grown. And we've always defined grown as someone who can make their own decisions and take care of themselves. But this generation, particularly, I mean, we had some in Gen Z, no doubt. Now we're not gonna sit here and act like Gen Z didn't have that problem because we do, But mostly with Gen Z, you were somebody who liked to fuck off, right? You were just simply somebody who likes to fuck off. That's all. With this generation, let me see. Hello, hi. With this generation, it's kind of like it's a mentality. Oh, I don't like the way that looks. Okay, so you see, I sewed, and then I'm gonna cut it. And so I'll cut it, and then that way, we got a new waist. I cut it, and then when you turn it inside out, can't even tell. So I gave it a new waistline. I'm doing that on both sides. My daughter is slim but tall. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So anyway, this is about self-discipline. That's what I'm talking about. Self-discipline is very, very important. A lot of people don't have self-discipline, and it's not just like I said, Generation Z. Uh, is generation the millennials? They have this problem. They don't get grown, and grown is when you take care of yourself, when you make decisions, you take responsibility. Um, you get out in the world and you get some done. Get something done. Have some time. I mean, something to show for your time. That's getting grown. That is what getting grown essentially is. And so if you don't get grown, you end up being a late bloomer. And what is a late bloomer? A late bloomer is somebody who is in arrested development, right? That's a person who they're here, they're alive, but when you ask them, what have you accomplished? What have you done? What do you have to show for your time? They don't have much. They don't have much. If you say, what are your goals? They may not have goals, or they don't have enough goals. Okay, and so they're kind of unproductive people, late bloomers. A lot of them are very, very unproductive. They don't have a sense of urgency about anything. Now they have this thing I talked about before in China, and it's called Tangping. The Tangping is different. It's not a laziness. It's the system doesn't work, so we're not going to play the game. Our system works. So that's not the issue. That's not a good excuse. So, and Tongting is from China and it means lay flat. That means I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to work the rest of my life with hopes and promises because I saw my father, grandfather, and every generation, take this lie that if they just keep working hard, that they'll have everything they ever wanted and desired. And I have seen three, four generations but they listen to that lie and it doesn't work. So I'm going to live life differently. I'm not going to be a slave to a factory or something like that. So that is called Tangping. And it's not that they lack ambition, it's that the system is basically stuck. And so they don't want to be bothered with the system. They're sidestepping the system. Just I'm gonna skip that. I'm not gonna be a consumer, I'm not gonna be a cog in the machine. This is not the same. These people lack self-discipline, they lack a plan. These late bloomers are people who lack consistency, they lack a plan, they don't have a sense of urgency or the need to compete or complete anything. Okay. And so I can say this is about self discipline. Self discipline is very, very important. I don't care what endeavor you have, um, you should have goals, measurable goals, right? And in order to reach your goals, you have to have self discipline. You have to know what you should do and what you should not do. Self discipline is telling yourself, listen, these are my priorities, and this is what I need to be doing. I know what I want to do. See, that's where self discipline comes in. I know what I want to do, but what I need to do is two different things. And you have to get to a point when you're grown where you say, what I want to do does not supersede what I need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do. You understand? That's self discipline. I'm going to do what I need to do. Okay, I did that one. Finished. I'm going to do what I need to do, not what I want to do. That is the essence of self discipline. I'll give you an example of how self discipline matters. You're going to be on a job. Excuse me. I don't know who these people are. It's so strange when you have people who come by and you're like, I don't know who that is. But hey. But self discipline, for example, is you have somebody who's pissed you off on your job. Let's say a supervisor, maybe, right? Or a coworker. They talking shit or they didn't say something you don't like. Now, what you want to do, probably, likely, is cuss their ass out, tell them off. But then that will create so-called tensions on the job, right? And then it'll be your fault. They'll say it's your fault. You were hostile, right? So you don't do that. Because what you want to do is keep your job. Don't you got a goal? Don't you have a reason for being there? You want to keep your damn job. So you have to say to yourself, what are my priorities? My priority is to keep a damn job. Okay. My priority is to keep employment because I got these bills because I'm grown. And cussing somebody out should not and cannot be the fucking goal here. That's not the goal. Is that what it is? So you have to ask yourself when you have self discipline, am I meeting my goal by the activity I'm doing? If I decide to cuss this coworker or cuss this manager out, I'm gonna get fired. And is that meeting my goal of I know this sounds simple, but this is shit that people don't get. Is that gonna meet my goal is if I cuss this person out, is that gonna meet my goal of staying employed? No, it's not. So don't do it. You gotta go take a break, walk away. Cat learns to live another day. Okay. You cannot cuss the person out, even though it make you feel good, even though you feel you justified. Because guess what? You gonna end up unfucking employed, and that wasn't the goal. So I think that essentially being grown and self discipline means making better decisions that are in line with your goals. Anything that's going to take you further away from your goal, you decide not to do. That's self discipline. Anything that's going to take you further away from your actual goals, you have to have self discipline. You have to do what you need to do, not what you want to do. Oh, trust me. In all my years of teaching and working with other professionals and stuff like that, having a career, oh, trust me I have self discipline like you wouldn't believe when it comes to that type of stuff. I got self discipline. Baby, I taught alternative school kids. Okay. I taught kids that don't give a fuck. So, I had lots of situations where I had things I wanted to do, but I chose differently. I've proven myself career wise as someone display, uh, who can display self discipline. And it's important to do that. You can't be grown and not have self discipline. You can't do it. You're gonna always miss your goals. You listen. If you don't have self discipline, you will miss the mark every time. And this is how you become stagnant. You act on. You're not using logic. You use emotion. Okay. I feel like fuck your feelings. Fuck your damn feelings. That's part of being grown. Fuck your feelings. You hear me? Fuck your feelings. Don't matter what you feel like. I don't feel like it's a whole bunch of shit that's part of getting grown. That's called sacrifice. It's called self discipline. And see, when your self discipline lacks, most 9 times out of 10 is lacking because you got stuff you want to do, but you don't need to be doing because it's not helping you get towards your. This is a real tricky part right here. Y'all can't see. You got shit you want to do. No doubt about it. We all do. We got shit we want to do, but the shit you want to do is not in line with your goals. And so self discipline is telling yourself, I don't need to do that thing. Uh oh, I didn't went way off. What the hell? I didn't went way off. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm almost there. Self discipline, self discipline is you making decisions to do what's necessary in the moment, not what you want to do. Okay, I didn't went way off. Let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna start over there. Yeah, you got to do what's necessary for the moment, baby. You don't get to just do what you feel like doing. That's how you get fired. That's how you lose opportunity. That's how you end relationships. All kind of shit. There's lots of times self-discipline means you got to show up and show up on time. You don't get to be late because you just feel like I want to put my makeup on. You know, making poor decisions because you're going with your emotions. You're going with your personal desires, needs, and wants. You need to go with your goals. Go with your goals. Stay in alignment with your goals. That means telling people no. That means planning ahead. That means prioritizing. That means putting the mission first. And I'll talk about goals later, but one part of goals is that you have to have measurable goals. And that's how you keep self-discipline. When you got measurable goals, you have to say to yourself, okay, Self discipline is I'm gonna stick to my deadlines. When I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. Right. Um, there's lots of steps to keeping a goal. Right. You got to keep a goal. You got to work towards the goal. It's lots of steps. Most goals that are worthy, they're not one step. There's 10, 15 steps. And so the timeline is very important. You got to create a timeline. And that's how you demonstrate self discipline too. Do you have a timeline for your measurable goals? How do I know I'm accomplishing this goal? You got to define what measurable is. How do I measure this? Right? For example, if you're supposed to graduate, that is a measurable goal. I'm going to get an X, Y, and Z degree in this amount of time. My graduation date is on so and so date. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be May 15th. That's my graduation date. And everything I do needs to be in alignment with that goal until I accomplish that goal. Everything that's not in alignment with that goal needs to stop. It needs to take a back seat. It's not that fucking important. That is getting grown. That is self discipline. Let me prioritize my goals on my timeline. Because, see, when you start moving timelines, that's when you're in trouble. Y'all feel me? When you start moving timelines, got a problem. Uh-oh. Let me take this up. Okay. Let me go back. When you start moving timelines, that's how you know you're not on self discipline. Okay, there we go. When you start moving timelines, that's how you know you're in trouble. Because what you're doing is you're slacking. Okay. I'm gonna give y'all another example. One thing that McDonald's has is fast food. They got those timers. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The goal is to make as much money as fast as possible in this goddamn drive-through. They have a specific number of customers that they want to serve, and per customer, I can't see my line. Okay, there goes my line. And per customer, they need them to come through that drive-through in a swift time and be served. So they got a formula to make money. It's a formula. It ain't a joke. And so they got these measurable goals at the fast food. And I have been through the fast food line, and you know what they do? They put them on a timer. And these people are too lazy and sorry. They don't want to meet the goals. They don't want to have self-discipline. You need to you need to hone your fucking craft. You in fast food, you need to figure out how to get that stuff bagged correctly on time. You need to figure out, anticipate what the customers need, take their order correctly. All of that shit you got to do in order for you to meet the goal that they have set. They got to make, let's say they got to make $100 every 15 minutes. This is the formula for fast food. Okay, I got that one done. I done got about no, 4 pair done since I've been on here. How many I got left? One, two, three, four, five. I got five left. Okay. But yeah, you gotta have self discipline to do that. So you got and so when I go through the fast food, they put timers on them on the drive through. And what happens all the time, y'all will see it. They'll say, "Can you pull up?" No, I can't fucking pull up. I will not pull up. Fuck no, I'm not pulling up. Uh oh. I must have pulled the plug out. Oh, okay, there it is. Let me move those pants. Fuck no, I'm not gonna pull up. Hell no, I'm not pulling up. You know why I'm not pulling up? Because you need to have self-discipline. You need to meet the goals that the corporation has set for you. They didn't tell you to have people pull up so you can fake and take your time. That's not what the fuck that's about. They put that time. Well, I'm like, why do I need to pull up? For what? Oh, well, the timer is on. Yeah, bitch, meet the timer. Meet the fucking goal. No, I will not pull up. They want to measure whether or not you are effective and efficient and you're meeting their corporate goals for customer service. Fuck no, I'm not pulling up. You trying to beat the system because your ass is sorry. And so that's what I'm telling y'all. When you see people that are not willing to commit to what the fuck they gotta do, it's just a sorriness and a laziness behind it. You see what I'm saying? There's a sorriness and there's a laziness behind it. You need to get your ass in gear and do what you need to do and not what you want to do. And I know this sounds like something a parent would tell a child, but it's a lot of adults that do not understand this concept. You have to do what you need to do, not what the fuck you want to do. A lot of people want to fuck off. You think I don't want to fuck off sometimes? Fucking off is not an option because it's not getting me closer to my goal. And so what ends up happening is people don't meet their goals and they keep moving the timeline back. They keep moving the timeline back, full of excuses. Well, just the same way as the fast food. Same thing. I can't meet the deadline. I can't meet the goal. So I'm gonna just move it back. You're not gonna move me to go park nowhere. Because the only reason why you want me to park is so you don't because you have no intention on meeting the goal. They told your sorry ass when they hired you that they wanted you to get on the drive through and get every customer through in less than 4 minutes. You don't want to meet the goal, so now you want me to go park so you can fool the machine. You crazy? You crazy? You get your sorry ass in gear and do your damn job. That's what you need to do. Do your damn job and meet the goal. So it's the same thing. If you're somebody who is a bullshit artist, you have goals. It's basic and measurable. Go to college. Get in college. Fucking stay in college. But in order for you to actually accomplish the goal, you have to prioritize. And that's where the self discipline comes in. You got to say no. When people ask you to do stuff that's not in your best interest, you need to be doing a paper or you need to be finishing your classwork, you got to say no, I can't go. Because you're going to have friends that are not in college and they're going to be out here doing and living their best life. And you got to just say, I can't go. I have this one friend, she used to love to go. First of all, I was kind of broke. Well, I just didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't balling. I wasn't balling. I wasn't balling. I call that broke. And she used to go to all these fancy restaurants, seafood restaurants and stuff. And I didn't need to spend the money. Because see, even money comes self discipline is that too. Buying shit you don't need, right? And that can come in the form of fast food. Some people do the whole DoorDash thing. You blowing the budget. You blowing the fucking budget. You need books for school or something, and you blowing your budget because you insist on getting fucking DoorDash or something. You know what I'm saying? Self discipline is how you spend your money too. Are you spending the money that you have that's been allotted to you any kind of old kind of way, or are you actually keeping a budget? Are you spending to buy what you have? How they say to buy and hide what you feel inside? There are people that do that. They blow their fucking money. They blow the damn money. Don't have no self discipline. They want to feel good in the moment, so they do spontaneous buying. But when you in college and stuff, you got to tell people no, no, I can't go. I used to tell my friend all the time, no, I can't go. First of all, you trying to eat out with you and hang with you. She had her MBA at that time. My friend had her master's in business, okay, and she had her a nice high power corporate job. I can't hang with you, bitch, because we're not in the same level right now. We're not at the same fucking level. I'm over here as a pretty much a broke ass college student, and you didn't accomplish your master's degree, your MBA, and you can afford to go to all these expensive restaurants. I used to want to go, and I used to feel bad. I'm like, damn. But you know what I said? I said one day I'll be able to hang with this bitch the way I want to. One day, if I just stay focused, if I have self discipline, I say no today and yes will be tomorrow. You understand? So I say that to say a lot of people don't have self discipline. I had enough self discipline to say it ain't for me right now. It'll be one more reward that I can gain for myself when I arrive. When I reach my goal, then I can hang out with her. And guess what? I hang out with that bitch. You want to go where? Let's go. Let's go. I ain't got no problems going there now. Yes, we can go to Papa Do's and spend $75 on some fucking fish. Yes, we can do that. You got to pay. You got to pay the cost. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to pay the cost to be the boss. You got to have self discipline. You got to say no to yourself. You got to say no to other people. You got to tell them how, why. You got to lay your foundation. You have to say, baby, listen, I cannot do X, Y, and Z. Make it understood and known so people don't keep tempting you. That's if you got friends. If you got friends. That was one of my issues. I had I had a lot of social, I had a lot of social life that I felt like I missed out on in college. I had a lot of social life. People wanted me to do stuff and go somewhere and party and shit. And I'm sitting in a fucking library. I'm sitting in the whole fucking library all night goddamn long. But you know what kept me in that library? What kept me focused from not distracting myself? The end fucking goal. The end fucking goal. and you could taste the food. You can hear the music. They out there. They having a good fucking time. But guess what? My friend with the MBA, that was she. You think she wasn't in that position? You think she wasn't in a situation where other people was going out and having fun and she had to have self discipline and tell them no? You think she didn't go through that shit? That bitch is smart, but she had to sacrifice too. I know she did. But you see, she paid her dues. And so it was upon me for myself, not for her, but it was upon me for myself to make sure that I had self discipline, right? She got hers. So, yeah, she can ask me, do I want to go? But it's upon me to do exactly the same shit she did when she was getting her master's degree. It's upon me to tell people no. I know she told people no. Nah, I can't go. Nah, not this time. You see what I'm saying? It's upon me. It's not nobody else's job to say no. It's my job. Uh-oh, I'm going the wrong way. Let me get it back over here. Okay. These jeans are tough. Okay. Jeans are harder to do. The material is so thick. But it's my job to say no. It's my job. My friend had to tell people no when she was getting her master's degree. And just because she asking me don't mean she didn't say no. She had to say no to get where she was at. I gotta do this again. I'm not satisfied. That's not a good stitch. Okay, go forward, go backward, forward and backward. Okay, that's better. Yeah. So you gotta tell yourself no. I don't need to spend money like this, right? I don't need to go there. I don't need to be at everything. I had a social issue. That was my struggle, wanting to socialize, and I had to have my priorities in mind. That was my issue. But some people who don't have friends and stuff, that may not even be their issue. They may, well, decide that they want to sit on the internet or they want to play video games. You know what I'm saying? Or they just want to be out in the streets. People have everybody got different vices. You know what I'm saying? Mine, I want to be social. I want to go to the party. I want to go to the club. I want to get out. I want to be with everybody else. That's what I wanted to go with my friends. And I had to literally say, fuck no, I gotta go. Ooh, these pants are too big. I'm trying to figure out how to take them in. Okay, I'm gonna take them in 1.5 inches on that side. That's what happens when kids get long. They call it lanky. Kids get tall and lanky. Okay, now I'm gonna go all the way down. But yeah, you gotta have self discipline, man. The quickest way to destroy yourself and your goals and your future is to not have self discipline. You miss all your deadlines, okay? That's how you know you fucking up when you start missing deadlines. And let me say this too: when it comes to goal setting, you have to put a timeline on everything, baby. You got to put a timeline, even the smallest shit. You got to put a timeline on it. 'Cause if you don't have a timeline, you won't meet the actual goal. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have a timeline. You have to have a timeline. Measurable goals. I call them benchmarks. And you have to put everything on the timeline. By this date, I'm going to have X, Y, and Z done. It's your job to track whether or not you are on target for your goals. Because if you're not on target for your goals, you're not going to get there. That's just reality. If you're not on target and you're not measuring your goals, you won't get there. And you're going to miss deadline after deadline after deadline. And if you get into a bad habit of that, you are going to be a loser adult. People can't depend on you, you know? And unfortunately, people judge that type of stuff. They look at how long it takes you to accomplish goals. It takes you forever. They be like, yeah, this motherfucker ain't got no ambition. If it takes you, you know what I'm saying? Just goofy shit. As an adult, you have to get focused. And self-discipline means saying no to yourself. It means getting your ass off of stuff that's a distraction. Because baby, I'm gonna do a whole section, a whole nother one about distraction. There's so much distraction out here in this world. That's why self discipline, telling yourself no, is so important. There's so much shit out here that can distract you. You can be distracted by TV. You could be distracted by the idea of fortune and fame, or you have to have a passion. Let me say that too. For the most part, one of the most important things is having a passion for what your goals are, what you're doing. You got to have passion for it. You have to have ambition. And see, that's the thing too. Sometimes self discipline is lacking because you don't have passion. Oh, I don't know if I did that too tight. That looked real tight. Shit. That's kind of tight. I need to. I don't know. I might have to take that out. I don't know. We'll see. But you have to have passion. Okay, I got what, two more pair, three more pair, and I'm done. You got to have passion for what the fuck you do. If you don't have passion, no wonder. No wonder you don't accomplish goals. If you don't have passion, you don't have ambitions. You got to want something for yourself. And see, that's something your parents simply can't give you. To want something for yourself. Wait a minute. Do I have to get my symbol down again? Okay. Uh-oh. 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 I think I have ran out of, I did. I ran out of thread. Okay. All right. All right. I'm about to move on with my morning because I don't feel like redoing the thimble. I have two pair of pants. I'll get to that later. I think I'm done with my video anyway. I think I'm done with my video. So this is the rule of thumb. Self-discipline is doing what you need to do. Oh, self-discipline is doing what you need to do, not what you want to do. Self-discipline is having measurable goals and meeting those goals. Okay, having clear, measurable goals and meeting those goals on time. Okay, put if you ain't willing to put dates and times and deadlines on stuff, benchmarks and deadlines. If you're not willing to do that, you have no self-discipline. And you don't get to move back, all of your deadlines and stuff. You don't get to move that back. You better stick to it. Because if you're not sticking to it, you're full of shit. And that's just the reality. Okay? So measurable goals and telling people no, telling yourself no. What I want to do is one thing, what I need to do is another. That's self-discipline. If you don't have self-discipline and you don't know how to stop yourself from doing what you want to do instead of what you need to do, you're going to be in trouble as an adult. You're not going to be very functional. So, self discipline, it takes practice. It takes practice. It takes respecting yourself. You know, don't keep missing deadlines. Don't keep pushing shit off. Don't do that. Then you have to say to yourself, am I worthy of this thing? Maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I don't know how to earn it. Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe it ain't for me. And see, that's the thing. Some of this stuff in life is a privilege. Everybody ain't worthy. Think about it. If everybody was worthy of something, everybody would have it. It takes discipline. It takes all kinds of stuff. It takes talent. It takes skills. It takes discipline. It takes knowledge, wisdom, a lot of stuff, patience. It's a lot of virtues that get caught in um, goal creating and goal achieving. It's a lot. To whom much is given, much is expected. And it's by design. You think everybody can get a PhD? Fuck no. You think everybody can get a high paying job or have a successful business? Fuck no. It's the character that's been developed, the discipline, the determination. That people, they wimpy out here, man. Motherfuckers be wimpy. They scary. Okay? Scary and wimpy ass people. And it takes all kinds. I mean, you wouldn't have nobody to clean your toilet or change your tire or some shit. You got all kinds of people out here. It takes all kinds of talents. And we need people who don't have much, go out and get it. We need people out here who don't have a lot of ambition. We need simple people out here. They do simple jobs. They're valuable, but they're simple. We need that. But if you want to be one of them people that's gonna attain something that's beyond average or below average, you gotta actually have the character to fucking do it. Because it's not good to just get something and then have it. What you gonna do with it? You gonna take that same laziness, sloppiness, lack of focus, lack of self-discipline. You gonna take that into a career? Who gonna pay you for that? Who gonna pay you for that? You have to exude and embody good character traits like self-discipline. And without that, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose big. Ashe.